Recording is in progress. Hello and welcome everybody. Daryl Snyder, Brandon Abbey, Fantasy Sports Logic. Happy Saturday, July 8th to you. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to start out with a couple of really quick videos sharing what Fantasy Sports Logic is all about. The first video is like a minute long. The second one, a lot of the features inside the Contrarian Edge Optimizer, that one is less than 3 minutes. So let me get to the home page here. And let me start this video. Let's see if I can put Brandon and I will stay out of the way of it.
Sports line. With up to 8 5-player projection database in over 50,000 simulated outcomes. This is the secret weapon you've been waiting for. Whether you're a beginner or even pro, the Contrarian in multiple pros, you need the flexibility to tailor it to your needs. And here's the best part: one price covers all sports and upgrades. MLB, NFL, NBA, PG. We've got you covered. To experience the power of Fantasy Sports Logic. Get started today with our exclusive 7-day test drive for only $1. Join our FSL team of satisfied players who will unlock the Contrarian Edge Optimizer. Visit FantasySportsLogic.com now.
Very cool. That went off seamlessly. You see, it talked about the 7-day test drive for only $1. We'll get into some bonuses with that at the end of this daily deeper dive podcast. Here's the less than 3 minute video.
Welcome to the Fantasy Sports Logic Contrarian Edge Optimizer. During your 7-day test drive, we'll help you unlock the full potential of our powerful tool. Getting different with Contrarian on or off mode. Our Contrarian Edge Optimizer allows you to optimize your lineups based on different strategies. Experiment with the Contrarian on or off mode to see how it affects your player selections and lineup construction. Understanding the multiple live player projection feeds and the FSL exclusive blend. We provide you with multiple live player projection feeds from our world-class data partners, each offering unique insights. Explore these feeds and take advantage of the FSL exclusive blend, a proprietary projection blend designed to give you an edge. General team stacking option. Maximize your chances of success by utilizing the team stacking option. This feature enables you to select players from the same team, capitalizing on their collective performance. Multiple lineup generator and FSL exclusive feed 150 max lineup generators. Generate multiple lineups effortlessly using our powerful lineup generator. Within each of the 7 feeds, you can create multiple lineups tailored to your preferences. Additionally, all of our feeds offer up to 150 max lineup generator, allowing for extensive lineup variation. Understanding multiple pro settings options. Customize your optimization process with our multiple pro settings options. Fine-tune various parameters such as player exposure, risk tolerance, and more to align with your preferred strategy. Uploading your lineups in CSV to DraftKings, FanDuel, or Yahoo. Once you've generated your ideal lineups, conveniently upload them in CSV format to popular daily fantasy sports platforms like DraftKings, FanDuel, or Yahoo. One-time opportunity for upgrading to VIP All Access Package. During your 7-day test drive, you have a unique chance to upgrade to our VIP All Access Package. With one price and one-time payment, you'll gain access to all sports and future upgrades, unlocking the full potential of our optimizer. Remember, our support team is here to assist you throughout your test drive. Explore the features, optimize your lineups, and maximize your fantasy sports success with the Fantasy Sports Logic Contrarian Edge Optimizer. www.fantasysportslogic.com.
Very good. I think that went off seamlessly. I am going to, because of my hearing impediment from being front row at a lot of rock concerts during the 70s, I have 60% hearing loss. I'm gonna put my earbuds in. Let me disconnect from my Bluetooth here. On my phone. I'm gonna hook up to the computer. I put it back down a little. I saw when we blow it up, it was kind of blurry. Did you see that?
Yeah. Second one came off better than the first one. It's a little hard to hear the first one. But you can go to the website and play it for yourself. So
Yeah. Yeah, that saves for me. I know I get a little long-winded and into that third cup of coffee you warned me about. So it shortens everything up a little bit on explanations. But this is our daily deeper dive video in conjunction with one of our partners, Ballpark Pal. Simulates 3,000 different outcomes of a game. He's also one of the 7 live data feed providers. We're excited. That video touched on the importance of stacking, but we've been working closely with the tech team, and there's another blog post. I'll probably post it separately. We are close to launching a stack attack mode, and a lot of people that play MLB know the importance of stacking a team, whether it's a 5 stack or a 4 stack and correlation. Last night, first place in the mini max was a 5 stack with a 3 stack. I think it was a Diamondbacks, Gurriel, he had like 39 points with the Dodgers, Bucks had 39 with the 2 optimized pitchers. So what this is going to do with our 7 live player projection feeds, it's going to allow you to have the ability as a user to automate all this, because if you don't have that type of automation, it can be very, especially if you're doing 150 max lineups, it can be very time consuming. So we're excited about that. We'll talk about the dollar test drive and how you can experience that as early as next week. It almost went live today, but there was some more testing to go. But let's get into what Ballpark Pal does. Kind enough to provide us with the partnership 4 nice reports. I went through them pretty fast. I'll go through them slower. You got the daily stadium report. I mentioned to Brandon before we came on live. Check out the weather. There's a lot of weather possibility disruptions in this early slate today. It goes off at 1:05 Eastern, 10:05 Pacific. Looked like Detroit. I'd take a close look at Cleveland and then out east. The worst thing you can do is load up a bunch of lineups. Brandon and I both experienced it. All of a sudden it's in delay, and then they cancel the game and down go your players. So make sure you check out the weather. We'll get to the park factors, but Brandon, what do you see glancing at the Ballpark Pal daily home run report?
oh, I haven't taken a look at them quite yet, but as far as the stadium goes, I got up early and looked at that, and before I checked the weather, I was pretty excited to stack Toronto against Detroit, which I did yesterday and had a very good day.
Nice.
And was hoping to do it again, but the weather report in Detroit looks like, well, it's raining now, and it's supposed to rain most of the day. So
Yeah, Gosman looked like one of the better plays for
Toronto.
Toronto. So yeah, I mean, it's really risky that they will go way under owned, or they will go so far under owned they won't play. So I would tend to deviate away from that game. I didn't look like there was maybe one break where it went right and then it started up heavy again. You know, so I think it's going to be tough to get off. But again, choose your games at your own risk. But you see the home runs. What he does, Aaron, the gentleman that's the Ballpark Pal partner, he's a data guy, simulates, like I said, 3,000 different outcomes of a game. And you can see here Willie Adames for the Brewers. They have a roof there, so there's no weather problems if it does rain. Adames 23% probability to hit a home run. He's got a nice matchup against Luke Weaver, the pitcher, 24% projected upside on that, 6% in the ballpark. Corey Seager, Rangers at Washington. Again, check the weather. I think the East Coast is more scattered storms, but again, pay close attention to that. Bader, the Yankees, again, weather there. 21.5% home run like Seager, upside, big upside on the matchup against the Cubs lefty Drew Smiley. 27% and Ballpark, if they can play, big upside. So Bader looks like a nice person to slot in, whether you stack the Yankees or you just do a one-off or a mini stack. If that game plays, Stolar, that's down in Miami, that's a dome. There's no weather problems there. He's had quite a good year home run wise. I think he made the all-star team. He's got an upside of over 20% home runs, 18% matchup with Ranger Suarez of the Phillies, and then Lane Thomas, national against Andrew Haney for the Rangers. Haney's been tough, but Thomas, he's had a great year. I think he's a rookie, but great. Look at the upside on the matchup, 44%. It's probably one of the highest upside matchups I've seen since we've been talking about these charts. But what do you see in the below the home runs and the matchups there that pop out?
Oh, I think like you started off with Willie Adames. I think that's a good pick. Weaver's given up his fair share of home runs, so I'd look closely at him today.
I agree, and again, there might be a lot of people crowding to that game and the Miami game because of the weather. Although I think it's an 11-game slate. Look at the Royals. You never see a Royals stack about him, but again, that's in Cleveland where the weather might take it out. So we shall see. But look at the boosts on the matchup: 50, 56, 44 for production, but matchup 33, 35, 25. Nico Horner of the Cubs, he's had a great year. We'll go on to the fantasy report. I'm sure it's going to have some correlation with the home run report. Aaron does a nice job, breaks it down, 3 players per position. You see first base. Again, that Cleveland game, you got a couple of Guardians. I almost said Indians. Guardians, Naylor and Bell, and then a Yankee, Rizzo. You see the blue is the FanDuel projected point total. And then in the green is DraftKings. So you can, depending on where you play. Currently, we offer player projections for FanDuel and DraftKings. Yahoo will most likely be turned on for football. I know a lot of people play the football on the Yahoo as well. So there's one of your Padres.
Yeah, this is an awful lot of information, and I think what's really important about this is when you go to Fantasy Sports Logic and you run your lineups, you'll get a blend of all our 7 different providers. But if you really like Ballpark Pal and what they have, you can just focus in on them and create lineups generated just off this type of report.
100% accurate. I see, well, there's Will. We talked about that Kansas City potential stack if they can get that game in. Seager, Ranger. The Orioles have been hot. Henderson a couple games ago, he had 40-some fantasy points on 2 home runs. Rushman, great catcher, starting to heat up. He had a slow start. O'Hearn. Well, if that Orioles game goes off, they're always a good stack to take a chance on. Strider's in the later slate. He's projected. He's had 10 strikeouts, I think a half a dozen times or more this year. So he's projected again around 9. I'll show you that when we get to the pitching part of the analyzation. We got Thomas, Soto. Looks like your Padres might be stacking up. We got Kim, Soto, Tatis. Could be a late night snack attack. How do you like that snack? Snacking stack attack. It's kind of a tongue twister. And then the Braves, Acuna. I mean, if you penciled him in every day, if you can afford him, he's in the mid sixes now in DraftKings, unless they put him up to 7,000. Almost the price of a pitcher, right? Or higher than some of the pitchers. Solar again, kind of like him today. Been on a couple charts. Toronto, there's that rain and Springer. So again, at your own risk, check out the weather. Here's the starting pitcher preview. Kind of a report card type, the way he analyzes everything. I had a conversation with him. This part, these grades are grading the last 1,000 pitches, how they are performing for the pitcher. So you look at Smiley, his knuckle curve, not a good grade, like a D+, right? The slider, not bad at a B, and his cutter is a little light. I think that's a C+. And then Cole, he's grading out pretty good on his last 1,000 pitches against the Cubs. If that game goes off, I was looking at Cole, but again, weather. But he's projected almost 7 strikeouts. Gosman, we talked about in that rain-threatened Detroit game, projected at over 7. I'd like to go out here to the right and look, how many innings are they projected? You'd love to have them at least 6. You got Framber Valdez, that's an afternoon game against Wu. Wu's been pitching great for Seattle. They actually scored 10 runs last night against the Astros. I talked about Cole. Let's go to Strider. He's going to pop out 8.6, almost 9 projected strikeouts for Strider. He's gets a lot of strikeouts, but his ERA, he tends to kind of feast or famine. He's given up some runs as well, and he's facing a pretty solid Rays team with Taj Bradley. So again, I think Brandon's eyes are going down there to that A plus Snell on the bottom there.
Actually, I like Paxton today.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. A lot. Again, though, I think, isn't that in Boston with the weather?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we can bring that up. Hopefully the East Coast isn't like the Midwest. Cleveland, Detroit looked ominous. The other ones may hit and miss, so scattered. You may get some delays. I don't know about rainouts, but again, I don't mean to be redundant on that. But you don't want to play a game and not have, the player with the opportunity within it, right? You've done that, Brandon.
Yeah, you don't want to have 5 of your players not play.
Yeah, very rarely. Last night in the stack, it was interesting. The 5-3, there was a 0, Longoria. They stacked Arizona 3 times with Gurriel 39, Longoria 0, and I can't remember who the other one was. It'll come to me, but so once in a while you get away with 1-0. If you have a couple of guys like Betts who had 39 for the Dodgers and Gurriel had 39, but if you have a stack lineup, and I won't say it never happens with 2 zeros, but almost never are you going to place in the money. Stadium report. Here we go. Cleveland shows sunshine. Again, I checked out. I saw some things on the radar there. If they play that game, that's why Kansas City had some stackability. 14% run probability increase, home runs 15% up, doubles and triples 18%. Not much deviation on the singles. So, and then there's that Yankee Stadium. You saw Rizzo, Nico Horner, you got 13% bump today with runs, 33% home runs in that stadium. So I bet it's probably hot, humid, and windy out there, right? The wind must be blowing out. And that's why the chance of some of those pop-up storms that can either pop up and go away, or they pop up and just keep popping up. So check that out again. Fenway Park in Boston. Different wind there. It looks like it's a crosswind. Angling towards the big green monster. Get the ball up in there and just let the wind carry it into the monster. That's probably why the The doubles and triples are up 15%, and the home runs are down 7 because that wall will obviously not let anything go over unless it's high enough, and looks like it's conducive to some run scoring if it goes off today. Washington, that park's been favorable, but look at that wind. Looks like it's coming in directly at the batter, 2 ways and then 1 way. They still give it a 5% boost in home runs, threes, and doubles and triples. There's a game you're safe with the weather. Dodgers Stadium. Dodgers last night. This is a later game. It's not on the early slate. They scored 11, I think, and had the 5 stack with Freeman and Betts and a few others. But tonight again, 11% increase, wind blowing out. That park plays small when the wind blows out, just like it plays big when the wind blows in. I've seen Giants Dodger games that were crazy high total when it heats up like that. And then you can look, there's Oracle. We talk about that all the time. The Giants have been like that snowflake. They've been very cold. They only scored 2 runs last night. They gave up a 3-run bomb to a rookie for the Rockies, 21-year-old. They lost 5-2. Crawford had he had a 2-run homer for the Giants, but that park plays definitely a disadvantage for the hitters. You can see down 27% tonight because it's cold. Detroit would have been good. Like Osmond was looking good until the weather. The rest of the games, Petco about even, plus 3% home runs, down 11% doubles and triples. I really like Snell in the afternoon against the Mets. Alonso's been heating up. I think you can Lindor facing a lefty isn't as good as he is with the righty. Houston, that's the Dome, Minute Maid Stadium. Where's that? Boston, Fenway. Okay, yeah, down 7. We covered that, right?
Yeah.
Houston double and triples with the wall. Anything you want to comment on there?
Well, out here in California, other than San Francisco, we're having great weather. So they're going to be able to swing the bats.
Yeah, they're facing, were you talking about the Giants?
Well, the Dodgers and the Padres.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those two. Yeah. Well, I like the Dodgers offense and I like Snell. Who's the pitching matchup? Peterson. Yeah, he's been susceptible. He's looking to not go 5 innings and give up at least 3.5 runs. You can see his changeup is graded very bad. It's forcing fastball and slider B in the last 1,000 pitches. So that could be a nice play. Lots of great information. As Brandon said, you can go to the fantasysportslogic.com, click on the blog, access these charts every day to your leisure. You can listen to this video where we take a deeper dive. And then, as we alluded to earlier, Ballpark Pal, see them right there. They are one of the 7 live player projection feeds in the Contrarian Edge Optimizer. We believe that is unique to anybody. A lot of great optimizers. I'm sure that they use at least one provider, if not their own. Maybe some use 2. I don't know of any using 3, but might be. We use 7, and then our proprietary blend. And you can see what's nice about this. There's Gosman, talked about him. He was the highest projected across the board with our blend. You can see the different, our blend 19, FP1, which is Baker, 10,000 simulation. Ballpark Pal 18. So he was pretty solid. He had a high of 23 projected by Sport Radar. Garrett Cole, there's Paxson against those A's. What Brandon liked today. Got some ownership, 28.5%. It's going to be interesting with the rain to see how this ownership jumps around. Like I said, I like that that Miami Marlins game. Garrett pitched well. You don't have to worry about weather there. Nice solid projections. Keller, it's later in Arizona. So's Garrett. I guess that's on the later slate. So let me show you how this works. You got anybody you want me to lock in? Want me to lock in Paxton for you?
Yeah, lock him in.
Locking in Paxton, you just hit this little lock. Our little technicians in the background are slicing and dicing all the numbers. Let's generate. How about a position player? Any position player you're looking at? Who are the higher? You get out of the pitchers. Let's see. We've got Garcia for Texas.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, let's take Garcia. I like Texas today as well.
Yeah. Bigger Garcia. So what we did, we locked in a position and a pitcher. You can lock in 2 pitchers. You can stack. Just say we have the stack attack mode coming, but currently you can stack like this. Pick out. He likes Texas, so we locked in Garcia. Gonna lock in a Texas stack. Let's go 5 and see what happens. See what all this data comes up with. Okay, it lit up, generate lineups. There you go. You got Paxton. We locked in. We got 2 Garcias. It's strange, but over the years I've watched, and more often than not, they're in the winning lineups, players with the same last name. I don't know if that's just coincidence or remember I talked about the Miller and Miller about a week ago and showing the pitching. There you have a couple Garcias in the blend. You can see what's nice about this is it spreads it out, right? I mean, I talked about 7 live player projection feeds, our proprietary blend, secret sauce, as Leonard, our chief technologist, likes to call it. He's a guy's brilliant. He's on the patent for the original GPS chip. His name, he created that with Texas Instrument back in the 80s. But RotoWire, Baker, Ballpark Pal, FTN data, then you can slide. This is a slider, Sport Radar, Sports Data IO. These are all premier providers. I put on the blog post today. I haven't posted it out in any social media yet. It's got to be close to 100 years experience. I know Sports Data IO has been around a long time. Stats Perform since the 80s. I probably started around Moneyball time, huh? With the A's. When was that? But anyway, so what we've done is combined all that for you. And Brandon, you like Texas? Any of these providers, like any mix better than the other?
Baker looks interesting, but I usually stick with the blend. I find I have the best luck, or the best.
Yeah, and that's going to get you a little different than the others. You can see Scott Seager, Donovan of the Cardinals. What I'm questioning here, it's got 405. Is this in the main? Afternoon, okay, yeah, it's still in the main, okay. Let me know.
Yeah, I think there are 11 games in the main today.
Okay, so it's including those. It's even got the Giants. I saw it dares to throw Connor Siebold of the Rockies against our power gas house gang of a Giants group at the moment. So they must be telling us something. And it threw in Kyle Nelson, 4,000. I didn't look at him, but if you don't like the pitchers and you want to create your own, again, you can lock them in. This is giving you the opportunity with the salary flexibility of a 4,000 pitcher projected at almost 3x at almost 12 points. So I think you probably take that. If Paxton performs with an 18, you can see down here 98.8 is the projected. Baker 126, quite a difference between as we blend everything. But let's say how many you want to have me create. You can go up to 150 max down here per provider. What do you want me to shoot
Yeah,
for,
just
Brandon?
let's go with 10 today.
Put in a 10. Hit generate lineup. Now he's just working on it. We didn't set anything. It's got max exposure 100%, meaning in all 10 that could be the same player. You could set that in pro settings to where you want. Close that out, and it's going to show you the 10 and see how much variation or diversity there is. There's John in one, he's not in the other. You got Donovan. They like Donovan a lot as an off person. Do you want to say something? Oh, I thought you said, I'm sorry, I heard something.
No, I didn't, but I will say that this also created a CSV file. And if you want to load it into your DraftKings account, it takes you about 3 clicks. And then you can enter those lineups, as many as you want, into your games.
Very good. Yes, indeed. It threw it out over here to the right on my Mac. I think on PCs, it's a little different. This is mobile friendly as well. I like with my eyes to have it as big as possible, but I know a lot of people just do it from their phone. You can go to the optimizer from your phone as well. So it will, you're going to need, I think, a computer. I'm not sure how you load from your phone to DraftKings. I guess probably possible. I've never attempted that, but good question to find an answer for. So there you see, it's got Nelson and Paxton teamed up, some variance in 10. Again, real quickly, we had the video, so I don't want to make this any longer than I have to. Talked about the pro setting with the max exposure. Lots of ways to get different here. Auto max, global max. If you didn't want the same person in all 100% of your lineup, you can go down to whatever you want, 70, 60, 50, 40, depending on how many lineups you're running. If we weren't stacking on the outside, you have a stack bonus here, diversity, where you get different minimum fantasy points. We set that at 5. I mean, like I say, last night there was actually a 0, but you can set it at what you want. The higher you set it, the less player possibilities you're going to get, because it'll just avoid players that are projected lower that may end up going off for you. Good game time decisions. I like to click that so I don't have to scramble and see if somebody's not playing. Fade whatever team you want to fade, and then you can get specific max minimum exposure on pitchers all the way up to every position player. You can see there's 303 different players starting on today's slate, pitchers and position players. Then you hit save, and it will save all your settings for you. And voila. It's really fun, like we said earlier. 7-day test drive $1. We've got a partnership with currently Drafters has gifted us meaning Fantasy Sports Logic, some $20 entries into their $2 million best ball NFL contest. I think we're 2 months away, 60 or 61 days from NFL, Brandon. Can you believe it? Time is flying.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, that's what I heard the other day, 60, 62, or I think it's just over a couple months. I don't know if maybe that's the exhibition season and then the regular season, but anyways, if you take the test drive for $1, you don't have to upgrade. It doesn't auto upgrade you. If you like what you see, you think this is incredible value, you can go month by month, $29.97. Baseball now, it will include football at no extra cost. NBA, got a lot of people wanting golf. Brandon's a big golfer. We will be adding golf. Golf is pretty much year round now. We'll see what they do with the live thing. Probably for sure be a year round. And then any other sports. We've got a lot of interest in people asking us soccer, cricket, NASCAR, MMA, crazy, lots of sports, even the sim stuff going on. But dollar test drive, $29.97 a month, or one time currently while in beta. This is still in beta. One time, lifetime, one price, all sports, all upgrades, $299.97. That's not a year, that's for the life of our company, which hopefully is a long time, but and you get all the sports, so that'll eventually become annually. I don't think we'll ever make it a monthly, but so while it lasts, if you upgrade to that option, you never have to pay again. So the whole thing was built on the premise of value, provide as much value. We believe with the 7 providing data partners and our unique blend, there isn't more value in the marketplace, but that's for customers to tell us. And then also with, the pricing the way it is. So appreciate anything in closing. Brandon, how'd I do? I didn't see, you must have drank your coffee earlier because I didn't see you go through a couple cups, but
No,
how'd we do time wise?
I stuck it out. I'm guessing we're a little over half an hour, probably 40 minutes.
Nice. Well,
Not
got
bad,
excited.
not bad for you.
You know what I'm gonna do probably next week? I'm gonna let you be the host narrator and I'll come in and let me see how well, you probably cover it about 5 minutes, won't you? And say, okay, that's a wrap.
10 at the most, guaranteed.
Yeah, well, thank you, everybody. This is gonna take some time to render. Hopefully it gets it out by the, what is it, lock 10:05?
I don't see it on there. Well, we'll get it out as soon as we can.
Yeah, I'm going to end the meeting now. Thank you, everybody. Feel free to reach out to Brandon and I for any questions, support at fantasysportslogic.com. There's phone numbers. You can WhatsApp us, a lot of ways to get a hold of us. So here we go. Stop the recording.